Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another student stage. I hope everybody is excited for the conversation today. I know I am. This has been a long-awaited conversation that a lot of people have been requesting for quite some time at the moment, or that have been requesting for quite some time, I should say. And at the moment, we are in the midst of having a conversation with one of our longest community members. For anybody that is unaware, Ch1kin has been in the community since October. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I believe it's September or October of 2023. So he's been in here for quite some time. And also one of our oldest Unicorn University members. He's been in there for, I believe, virtually since the doors have opened, if I'm not mistaken. Has helped out a tremendous amount of people in the community. He is an OG, and we are very excited to have him here to talk about his journey, his success story, because if, as many of you do know, he has had an incredibly successful start to 2025. And we are here to talk to him and get a little bit more details on, what he's been doing, what he's been working on, how he got to this point. I myself am very excited to talk to this man. I was unsure if we were ever going to get a Ch1kin stream, so this is very exciting. And I know that he is also excited to talk to all of you. So without further ado, I will get him on the call with us. Ch1kin, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. That was my fault. I didn't.
All right.
I
Oh yeah.
had my settings were weird, but we're good. We are good to go.
All right.
So perfect. Yes. So welcome to the stream, brother. Happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so just to get people, acquainted with you, let's hear about, how you got into trading, kind of, a little bit of background about you, and maybe just, what got you into this community.
Okay. Yeah. My journey started trading in general around. Well, I guess first piqued my interest. We'll start at the beginning. When the whole GameStop saga first started, when it just took off, everyone was making money. I had a buddy of mine make a couple $1,000s. I'm like, hey, what is this? So I did more research. I was looking into stocks and I dabbled into crypto. Made a little bit of money around the bull run NFTs, and then I joined Discord and seeing futures, and I tried it out. I liked it. It was cleaner fills, it was good volatility, but overall better trading experience and less, I guess you could say scam wicks, just crazy stuff happens. But then I joined the original free unicorn server, and that's where I spent majority of my time learning from Matt, watching streams in there daily, interacting with the charts. And then ever since then, I think that's what piqued my interest and kept me going, just being around those individuals trading day to day and starting from there, from the free server.
Yeah, and then yeah, so well, was my time frame correct? Like you joined, I'm pretty sure it was around that time period, like 2023, like in the fall, right?
Yeah. I was struggling at that time. Like I was, jumping to the new shiny object,
Mm.
strategy to strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, this worked for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't. Liquidated, lost money. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So I kept going at it and just learning and learning. But that sounds about right. I was climbing the mountain when I joined Matt's server, but then his knowledge, teachings, free material he gave to us daily, it got me to the peak and over the peak.
Yeah, and like we were kind of speaking about that, like outside of this call, that you started with Apex, right? That was like
Oh
your
yeah,
intro to prop firms and all that.
yes. That was, yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. They're, very appealing, cheap accounts. So I was like, okay, let's try this. $30, try it. Intraday drawdown kills me. Okay, let's try again. I got close to passing eval. Got to close, failed, 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 and eventually, I made it to one payout. I was like, man, I can do this. But then after that, I just couldn't get back to reaching a payout, and I, in a way, took a little break, but I was still watching charts and still learning. And then eventually, joined the server and came across the unicorn model, which it was easy for me. Well, hard at the beginning, but now easy. And that's what helped me propel my trading success and journey. But yeah, Apex was the first one. Now, today I tried NFP, tried to start there with 5 more accounts. I passed 2 out of the 5, I think, with a little bit of slippage, but they're still green. So I'm going to work on Apex again, see if I can get over that fear and pass the intraday drawdown craziness.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Raj just asked a question. He said, "How many
Yeah,
times
yeah,
did
yeah.
it take you to pass your first account?" I'm assuming he's talking about like those Apex accounts.
Oh, geez. Maybe 12, 15 times, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it was a while because, I didn't have a strategy. So every
Right.
day I was like, okay, the 22 model, let's try that. Okay, trend line, let's try that. Support and resistance, let's try that. So I was all over the place, no structure, no top-down analysis, just the basic. Okay, look on YouTube. Oh, okay, let's try support resistance. Okay, let's try indicator, moving average. I mean, we all been there from the beginning, trying everything to see that works.
Right. Yeah. You gotta try it all. You never know what's gonna work
Yeah,
until you don't know if something's gonna work until you try it. So you got to bounce around at least in the
exactly.
beginning and see what
Yeah.
what works for you. And so actually, kind of touching on that, so you were obviously joined the public Discord, and then joined up into the Unicorn University relatively short, like almost as soon as the doors open. And now, in terms of you and bouncing around from model to model, now at this point you kind of have your own way of how you view the charts, and you have a model that is based off of the foundation of what you learned in our community. So let's kind of touch on what your model is, and like how you came to understand how you want to view the charts in that way.
Okay, yeah. I guess we'll start from like now. So of course, the foundation is the unicorn top-down analysis, high time frame, point of interest, swing points, and fair value gaps. But the original idea came from is a trader called Lumi Trades. It was like a 2-minute FEG model she mentioned in another server. So I know some people here. I went MIA beginning of the year for like a month or so because I was just studying charts, looking at charts, trading here and there. But I noticed she mentioned it. I kept looking, so I was like, okay, FEG. I mean, IFEG there, IFEG there. So I started doing more data trading, forward trading, and I see it repeats a lot, just like the unicorn. And I like, just my personality. I like to be engaged a little bit more in the charts, trading wise. So I was like, let's try this out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept getting good results, good results. And then I took it to, more accounts, and it's been working for me. But the foundation is high time frame, point of interest, for value gaps, swing points, and then IFEG. It's like to me, a unicorn. I still use the unicorn. I use combination of both, but to me, it's the low risk buy or sell into the unicorn, where the unicorn provides a good scaling more opportunity to add more onto the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm collecting data, now I think what clicked for me and it's helping me this year is I'm not, I understand the probabilities where now if I lose, I'm numb to it. It's hard to say that, but you have to be comfortable losing and just get over that. Like, it's like whatever, go on to the next trade. Because where the data that I've collected myself, I have just my own individual server, just my own, where I just post charts, data, you know, day to day on how I see it and little notes. And then I, collecting data, and then I see where the probabilities over time play out. And so I was like, okay, just comfortable at losing. I think that was the biggest thing for me this year. Just if you lose, okay, who cares? Keep going. Because over time, the winners will outweigh the losers. So that's what's been working for me so far.
That's right. And now touching on your day to day, um, I'm aware, but for those who are unaware, let's talk about like how you structure your trading day when it comes to your full-time job.
Okay, yeah. So some know, some might know, but I'm a manager at Chick-fil-A. That's the name, Eat More Chicken. It's for
In
the
case you
brand.
guys didn't know.
Yeah. So I my schedule around working and trading. So I work the evenings, so I'm able to trade New York Open. So I guess I could walk you through a typical day for me. So morning, I'll get up. I have a two kids, so I drop my son off at school, and then I go for a mile walk, maybe like 3 times a week, just the mental preparation of the day. And then after that, I don't have a trading desk, so I invested in Wi-Fi for my truck. So 90% of my trade is either, well, 90% is on mobile, and the other is on laptop. So I'm trading from my phone. So I'll analyze the charts while I'm walking or when I get off the walk, do a few things around the house, of course, have my coffee, sit down for New York Open, trade it. And then after that, I'll more likely hit the gym and then go to work. And there's times now this year with all the volatility and Trump in office, I've been dabbling in the trading Asia session and then building a little buffer. I don't do it all the time, but I do it quite a bit where either I'm done for the next day or I use Asia's buffer to carry over for New York Open's volatility. So if I see a good setup, I'll risk either all or some of the profits that are in Asia to help, propel profits for New York Open to help scale the magnitude. I don't have a set number of wins and losses in a day. Well, losses, yes, but wins, if it's good, I there's times I take 2, 3 trades, maybe more, break evens, of course, but that's pretty much day to days, pretty kind of like that.
I mean, that's just, I mean, if people think that they aren't able to like make trading happen, then they just don't understand because I don't, if you guys like don't, this man is managing a Chick-fil-A and trades in his truck. He got Wi-Fi for his truck so that he can trade and is not only, and has been doing this for, I mean, what, you've been doing this for, I mean, the better over a year now, right? At this point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then if anybody trades mobile, I highly suggest investing in Wi-Fi for your vehicle just to have it on the go because it's been a game changer for me. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, and I'm looking at what Kira said. He said, "So you don't have 4 monitors?" Yeah, exactly. That's like, and
Oh,
that's.
I
It's funny. I was just telling him recently that I said, don't fix, don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? But because he's
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
doing amazing. But I did say, hey man, maybe it's time to get maybe it's time to get so a nice little setup, to trade at. But then I mean, with seeing the success that he's seeing, then you just keep trading in that truck. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You're killing it, obviously. But to backtrack, I mean, how incredible is that for all the listeners? I mean, this man is trading in his truck because of how he has his schedule set up, and he is passing. I mean, passing challenges is like just the small end of the short end of it, and then getting all these payouts, and being also a part of our community as well. I mean, he's doing it all, and for people who think that they can't trade with a job, sure, there's probably limitations, and everybody is their own person, but it's are you going to make it happen, right? And like you yourself made it happen. You wanted to trade and you said, I'm going to do this, and you've been doing this for over a year now. You got Wi-Fi for your car, you're trading on your phone, you got your computer, but you like you said I believe you said a majority of them are on your phone, correct?
yes, yes. I would say 90% is
Yeah.
on my phone.
Yeah, that's insane. That's incredible. I mean, that right there is hard enough because, like people were kind of
Yeah,
saying in chat, it's a lot, including myself. Like I have 3 monitors, right? So it's like having like having the ability to just look at it all without having the stress of scrolling through different screens, and like, and also just the fact that you're not even sitting in like a state, you're in your car, your truck, you're not in like you're at work, maybe, or in your truck. There's all of these added elements to it, and yet you are seeing payouts, and you're not giving up, and you're just continuing to push forward.
Yeah. I was very, very determined to make it work. Failing, and I'm like, seeing people I trade with daily, like, okay, they're getting payouts, they're passing challenges. Why can't I do that? What can I do to make it happen? So for me, my lifestyle currently, that this was the best route, and just determination of I want to succeed, I want to do this, I'm not going to give up. You see the long term potential and freedom from trading, and it can explore and go in other areas of your life to help benefit. So I was like, I'm just going to do it and just stick with it. And this year alone is by far my best year. And I would say this to anybody that's new or still trading or just not there yet, just keep going. You hear a cliche where keep going till it clicks, you're going to make it, and it's true. And I think that's where I'm at on my trading journey, where everything's clicking. I keep persistent, kept going at it, and seeing the results paying off.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly are. I would like to say, though, that Vital, he did say that the truck has secret powers. So I would like to acknowledge that, and that maybe it's the truck. You're giving
Yeah.
yourself a lot of credit. I think maybe it's time to give the truck some credit.
Yeah. No,
um,
I want to get a desktop, 4 monitors, and make life a little easier instead of scrolling through different time frames or different charts where I can have, 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs and just look at, instead of like, okay, the price is coming down to my limit order. What do I do? What if there's an SMT, flopping back and forth? It can get a little stressful when it's, price is moving fast, but
yeah.
one day I'll get there to a desktop. I'm waiting.
I mean, it's working for you right now, so I wouldn't even be in a rush. But here, just to just shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
So now this is more of a kind of like a emotional intelligence sort of conversation. But now, for those who don't know, Ch1kin got he was provided a live account, moved to a live account on My Funded Futures. I think a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks or something like that. And
Yep. 2 weeks.
yep. And so now, what type of emotional discipline would you say it took to achieve that? Because obviously, like, it's a long road to achieve something like that. Like, now, obviously, I'm tying it in because of what you were just talking about, being in the truck. Sometimes, the chart's moving. You got to swap between, your different screens on your phone. It's adding a level of stress potentially to trading. Now, what are you doing, or what is maybe a suggestion that you have for somebody where you're able to stay so dialed in and emotionally level while dealing with this? Like, I
I
shouldn't say
would
this, but
just
like dealing with the charts, I should say, because
Yeah.
obviously you've seen success, and now you're being moved to a live account for My Funded Futures. So what kind of discipline did you have, emotionally and psychologically, that kept you level headed throughout navigating on your phone and all the craziness that goes along with the market?
yeah, just determination. I posted my screenshot. Just you setting goals for yourself, even if it's a small goal. You have a long term goal, but for me, my personal 2025 goal was a live account with My Funded Futures and starting a personal account, which now I've achieved both. But just staying determined, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and then at the end of the day, just being satisfied with $100 profit and moving on to the next day, because there's always going to be another trade. If you lose, don't let it eat you too much. Losers, no one's perfect. I have on my top step, I think a 67% win rate or something like that. So losses come, but just keep going forward. Don't worry about losses, and then just keep stacking points, wins. But I I guess setting goals and pushing towards that. What helped me with my funded futures was I had a big enough buffer where I was satisfied with making $300-$400 each time, and then closing charge. Don't even touch it, and just keep
Mm,
doing that. So I did that for I want about a month and a half ish. Around they closed my account because I'm waiting for the new credentials, but I
mm,
want to say a month and a half. But being satisfied with $300-$400, closing it, open the charts the next day, aiming for the minimum to get you there, and then just be done. But just being satisfied with enough points for the day. Where I mean, I'm guilty of, like I mentioned earlier, where rolling Asian profits to New York.
mm-hmm.
I have different accounts now, so sometimes I'll just be satisfied with the $300-$400, and then the next account I'll maybe push it a little more if I copy trade Asia for New York. But being satisfied with green, you know, there's no like Twitter. You see thousands, 4,000s, 5,000s each day, but end of the day, it's your account, you're trading. So just focus on your stuff. Small wins are wins. So that's huge. That's better than blowing account or negative, I don't know, 3,600, 1,200 drawdown, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But settings, goal, small, big, little, and just keep pushing towards it, pushing and pushing.
Yeah, not being greedy. Like that's really what it all comes
Yeah.
down to. Like you're saying, your whole your whole mental was, I don't want to be greedy. I just need to be green, which is obviously like huge
Yes.
in this. That's what Matt preaches is very big in the community, is just being green. And even to touch on how you're saying, you roll. Sometimes you kind of roll over like the profits from Asia to a New York session. I don't even think that that's far fetched, honestly, because yeah, maybe you don't want to do that. You don't want to be doing that like every single time. You don't want to be doing that constantly. But I think that where you have positioned yourself, and you now know yourself very well when it comes to the market. So the way that you're saying it shows that you're not over leveraging. Like you're not going, I'm just going to give back all of my profits. The way that you're going about it is like, yeah, like maybe I am going to, you're using it as a buffer, like you said, but you're not just going in thinking like I'm going to, um, you know, gamble this money, I guess would be maybe the
Right.
phrasing. You have them because you're so locked into how you're doing things, and you're separating the different sessions that because you said it in the conversation. Okay, yeah, maybe today I'm gonna, I like this setup, so I'm actually gonna like use this money as a buffer, or even partial, like how you said. Or you're like, I don't see anything. I'm not gonna, participate in the New York Open. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna keep my green. I'm gonna stay green. And this mentality has led you to all of these payouts, which we'll kind of touch on now. Obviously, this month alone, you've posted all of your payouts that you've received thus far, in the premium community. And so if anybody is unaware, Ch1kin has publicly posted roughly around $60,000 in payouts in the month of April. And so all of his hard work and everything that he's been doing over the past year and a half is paying off. I mean, literally paying off.
Yeah.
This man is doing incredible things now. He is in his truck, mind you, in his truck. Like, just he doesn't even need a setup. He just needs his phone, and he's printing money. And like he said this is one of his best. This is one of his best months he's ever had. He's also had payouts in previous months. I mean, 2025, he is off to an incredible start. He's getting payout after payout after payout. Now, what I guess what I'll ask you now is, are the payouts shifting kind of how you're approaching the market and your funded accounts, or are you just kind of keeping it the same, and you're not really making too many adjustments to what you're doing?
What do you mean by like shifting? Like, does.
Like I guess you're getting all these payouts, right? Are you shifting gears and what's on the horizon, I guess, or are you just gonna kind of keep doing exactly what you're doing? Because like, well, we had talked previously, and I know you had mentioned kind of like dipping your toes back into Apex.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So with my fund and futures, I have okay, yeah, I have a live account with them, so I can't buy any more evals.
Right.
I have the five, well, I have four top step, and I have two more payouts till potentially move to live with them. And then today, I shout out to day trader realtor with the one shot one kill method. I was able to pass two out of the five apex. The other three are green, so I'm just going to try CPI again. So now I'm just going to dabble into apex again to see. It's very lucrative and seeing all these huge payout with apex, but I just want, just start from the beginning, 1,000 here or there, start small, then scale up. But I'm gonna dabble into Apex starting, I guess, today, see what I can do there. And then also start moving payouts to I have a personal account that I'm adding to the trade on the side. Just very low risk there, literally micro. So really nothing crazy just to have, longer term. But I guess Apex is the one to try next, is where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm reading what Kira just said. He said what I had said to you. He said he's going for that jade money. You're trying to set the new record
Oh, no,
for
no,
the
no, no,
for Apex.
no.
But yeah, I mean, to anyone, to everyone listening, diversifying. That's it right there. Like this, he got his payouts, and now he's moving the money around. He's making sure that he's not, he doesn't have all his eggs in one basket. He's keeping it. He's keeping all the money all over the place. Because that the last thing you want to do is, you get paid out with one prop firm, and then you only trade that prop firm, or you only keep your money with with them, and then next thing you know, something happens, and then you're SOL. So for everybody listening, obviously diversify. That is the name of the game, and also compounding. Obviously, now Ch1kin just said that he is, he's looking to see how Apex is going to do, if it can provide for him. He just got two. Is that so? Actually, are those your only two accounts currently, or did you already have accounts before, like
Oh, with
with
Apex?
Apex? Yes, yes.
I mean, I've tried in the past, but not successful. But now I'm, determined to see at least start 5 or 10 to see where it goes. If I can get a payout, I'll add more. But
Right.
I, like I was saying, 2 out of 5 passed today. The other three slipped, but they're
Yeah.
still green. That's the con of using a trade copier. There's going to be
Hmm.
slippage, but so I'm just going to try with those three. Maybe add a little bit more for CPI. I personally like CPI more than NFP for it, but I'm gonna try both this time to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I think that as long as you keep doing exactly what you're doing, I told Ch1kin once I was I kind of really understood that he just trades in his truck 90% of the time and is on the phone. I said, don't change a thing, don't get a setup, don't do anything, don't change, which is that superstitious mentality of like when you start changing things that results may also change. So I told him, keep trading in that truck. Clearly, some like what they said in the chat, the truck has superpowers. So maybe that's adding to this these incredible payouts. But now I want to touch on, I guess, what you what you have planned in terms of your day job, because obviously you're seeing all these payouts, and most people would think like, oh, okay, well, I'm making a salary essentially, or literally making a salary in such a short amount of time. Why don't I just leave my day job and do this full time, because then I can do whatever I want, I can trade and all that. So where's your head at when it comes to getting these payouts and working your 9 to 5, or you just do your day job?
Yeah, Matt preaches multiple sources of income. So at the moment, I have no plans of I quitting Chick-fil-A. I was talking to off screen that I was in talks with my operator of potentially working towards owning one or starting that process. But right now, I'm going to continue trading and working. So I'm, not all my eggs in the basket trading, but I have made more so far right now than I would at Chick-fil-A annually, January, February, March, April, and 4 months that I would at Chick-fil-A. So it's like it's easy to say, hey, I'm gonna quit my job and just focus fully on this, but we all get stressed looking at the charts. But I have no plans of quitting my day jobs. But I'm in a crossroad right now. Like, do I just continue doing what I'm doing, or have to give up trading for a little bit to pursue a operator position with Chick-fil-A, go down that road? But currently, I'm just going to continue to just juggle both. Right now, it's working, so I'm going to see what this year brings, and then at the end of the year ish, we'll see what's on the table or the options. But I'm definitely, before all these payouts, I was already talking to my operator about working towards getting a store, doing the training across the country. But man, it's, I mean, to me, sometimes it doesn't even feel real that with all this happening, I'm just trying to stay humble, and not spend money that I, I didn't have before. Pretty much like I don't have any money. I'm just trying to live the same lifestyle. Don't get too crazy with spending. Oh, like, hey, I'm gonna go buy 150K challenge account for like $700. Like, I'm not gonna be dumb like that. I'm just gonna stick to the cheap ones if I need to get more, and just start from there because I know I can do it. It's just gonna take maybe a little longer to build the buffer because once you get a buffer, things you can scale up quickly once you build a buffer. But the hard part is building the buffer first and then scale from the buffer. But Chick-fil-A and trading right now, that's it.
Chick-fil-A and trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, everybody that hears this, if Chicken ends up going and becoming an operator of a Chick-fil-A, we're all just gonna have a meetup there, and we'll all go to the
Yes.
Chick-fil-A, and we're all gonna have a trading meetup at the Chick-fil-A, wherever it is. We'll figure it out. and
For sure. For
and
sure.
yeah, I mean that what you said is exactly it, right? Like, I mean, I was kind of leading you with the question, but obviously, I knew that you weren't gonna like leave your job to go trading full time because that's the reality is you should never give up your full time or any business, whatever it is, whether you're working a job, whether you're running your own business, whatever the case is, never give up on that for trading because I mean the reason that you were able to trade is because of this job, right? You didn't have any worries. You were
Right.
able to take care of your family. You were able to pay the bills. You were able to work, and you were able to trade. And like that persistence continued to just set you right on course for exactly where you needed to be, which is here. Like right now, you now have these incredible payouts and you still have a full-time job, so you're able to put that money away, or like you said, put it into different accounts for whether they're personal trading accounts or whether they're just other accounts like for your family or whatever the case is. You don't, and you're able to just pay your bills with your job, and you're also very successful in that as well. Like you said, you're in talks of becoming an operator. I mean, obviously, if you potentially had to step away from trading for a bit, then that wouldn't that would be something you would have to kind of deal with amongst like your family and yourself and how you want to go about your life moving forward. And that's obviously just a total personal preference. It's everything's going to come down to what you want to do and what's going to make you happy, because the entire reason that we do all of this is to obtain money so that we can have more freedom to do the things that make us happy. So since I just mentioned that you may potentially step away from trading if that way down the road, whatever that were to happen, that is a possibility. I will say that there was a point where you kind of did step away from not so much participating in the community, but you kind of just like took a step back, like to be very independent. I don't really know how long the time period was, but at a certain point you kind of stepped away from participating in at least like kind of our community as much as you were, and maybe some other ones, but you took a step back and then came back after I actually don't really know how long it was, maybe a couple weeks, maybe it was a month or two. So I actually wanted to ask you kind of what was going on, what made you kind of want to step away from participating more in the communities to do whatever you did and then come back.
Yeah, that just it was. I think it was about a month, maybe a little over a month. I
Yeah,
just not actively engaged in social media like Discord or Twitter, like just
yeah.
surfing or engaging there, but just finding. I have a I have a phone cover wallpaper on my phone that says "Independent Thinker." I look at it every day, and I just took a step back about a month, just find what works for me, and just go through the reps, eye training, and just solely focus on a model that's tailored for me and my personality and the markets and how I would like to gauge in it, risk, reward, etc. And I think that time period alone, just you, yourself, and I, just looking at the charts day to day, hitting the buttons, not but blinders on, just you and you. I think that's where it all clicked for me. Like this is it. This is what I needed to do, and just focus on myself without distractions. Like oh hey they're shorting this, but I want along that. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Conflicting messages on price action where I need to lose. I need to feel the loss, and I need to feel the hurt. I need to lose money, and that's what helped me. And I just kept refining, find work for me, and that's I think that was my big tipping part because I right then I think I got the top step accounts. I think shortly after that, all right, I started them. I started in the beginning of April, those
Mm-hmm.
top step accounts. And then that's when everything I worked for behind the scenes and collected data, forward testing, paper trading, etc. It all clicked on the real accounts. And that's why I was able to scale up with top step so fast. But having a buffer, man, it's tough to get a buffer at the beginning unless you get lucky with like volatility or new spike or just a big trade. But when you have a buffer, life is so much easier and less stressful.
Oh
Because if
yeah.
you lose, oh, who cares? You got a big buffer and keep going. But the the month by itself, that's when I was tailoring the 2 minute IFG model and the breaker unicorn combined to how I like to trade it and see it. It combined with the, I mean, I'm sure people want to know what I trade. I use the stat map also from the 2 degree server. It's a indicator. It's a paid indicator, but mainly off the 4 hour levels combined with a high time frame point of interest, either a fair value gap or a swing point. And then IFFG. God, I don't know why I keep messing that one up. I'll just say FE. Oh,
Yeah,
whatever.
there you go.
IFPG. That combined with it. It's like a tongue twister. Saying it multiple times. But I was collecting data on that because I see it appear so much. I've seen other people use it that are successful. I was like, okay, let's try this and let's incorporate it with the unicorn. Having more than one tool in the toolbox per se. So, and then I noticed when I was taking unicorn trades, there was one already there. So I'm like, okay, maybe a lower risk entry here. Let's put a limit order there or mark it in after a closure over and see what happens. And then I started getting quick results, green faster. I'm in the trade quicker. If I know if it was invalid, the loss would be instant. I'm like, okay, so it's not that big of a risk. So then I kept going and going at it. And then that's when it just took off. And then the unicorn will be there too. I still trade the unicorn, but more so the first entry, then I scale into the unicorn if I want to make a little bit more or if I have a higher draw on liquidity to a target.
Yeah, and I mean, the the fact that you took that period of time to just step away really just shows the dedication to the craft, because it is hard to step away from participating, in communities when you are,
Yeah.
because trading is, and we've talked about this before on the group calls, but um it's a lonely sport. It's just you, right? So
Yeah.
participating with people, it does help. Um, but you know, it's better to figure out yourself before trying to, you know, compare. Well, maybe not compare, but you know, just be a part of a community. Like it depends on your personality, like you said, right? You said that you see people going long, maybe you're going short. Like, you know, that obviously has an impact on any trader, any person that's, you know, that's trying to be a part of the market and part of a community. So taking that period of time to refine, you know, and really dial in exactly how you want to look at the charts and to get it to click like that, just to come back and start seeing, you know, payout after payout after payout is honestly a testament to you honestly as a trader, and also a testament to, you don't need to be a part of a community, but like being a part of a community helps in its own way, just as being alone helps in its own way. Like, you know, you've been a part of this community for such a long time, and then you were, you know, working on your craft, building it up, you know, getting a foundation set. And then after all this time, you decided, you know what, I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to take 5. I'm going to figure out, you know, kind of really what I myself, if I was alone, like how am I going to go about this? And then you took that time away, you came back, and I mean, obviously the payouts speak for themselves. That was exactly what you needed. You knew what you needed. You stepped away, and now you're, you know, in April alone, you're over 60K in payouts. So, you know, as long as you just keep your head down and keep doing what you're doing, stay humble, like you had said in the beginning, right? You want to stay humble
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can keep this journey, keep this train moving. You want to keep it going. Um,
Yo, oh yeah.
now that you're back in the community, or I guess just to touch on the community itself, specifically Unicorn University, what I guess I want to ask you, because you've been in the community since like the beginning. I want to hear about it. So, what in what aspects or aspects of the Unicorn University helped you the most, like as a community, like as the community within the community itself? Like what was the thing or some of the things that really helped you develop, you know, you yourself as a trader?
We'll start from the top. I mean, you and Matt. I mean, Matt lays down the foundation. He gives you the blueprint on what to do, what to look for, and it's, you know, it's up to you, the operator, on what are you going to do with that information he gives to you daily. And then from there, you use what he teaches it or tailor it how you like it or want to trade, and then go from there. But just the community itself, I mean, I love being a part. I mean, I love being part of the free community. Then Matt opened a private. I'm like, okay, I got to get in the private because I just loved what he was doing. And then just being around, you know, like-minded individuals that really like. I love trading. Like I sit here. I mean, someone joked about it. They see my green bar on. If the green bar is on, I'm probably maybe looking at a chart or in the just lurking in the community. But I love being part of the community, engaging with other traders, being around like-minded individuals. You know, chatting about setups or just day-to-day talk. But I just, you know, I love being part of the community. It's very, and it, you know, it helps you. Like, okay, you take a loss, you go in the community. Okay, someone else took a loss. Okay, no big deal, and then you just go on to the next trade. So, just Unicorn University has helped me a tremendously. And then, you know, Matt's teachings, of course, the foundation, what he gives us every day, from daily bias to like mental coaching tips. You know, he preaches about compounding. You know, let the, you know, let the accounts do the heavy lifting compared to risk. So that's the approach also I've been taking and moving forward. Just hearing him in the back of my head is like, hey, do this, do that. Just from being in the community for such a long time, I have like little cues in my head, like, hey, what Matt said, hey, let the capital do the heavy lifting. Okay, why risk X amount of dollars where over a certain amount of accounts, like, hey, this is that dollar. So don't over risk on certain setups. But I mean, it's awesome. It has, you know, changed my life. You know, I probably posted in the chat a few times, but very grateful for what you and Matt do in there, and I just love being part of the community.
Yeah, I mean, clearly your personal thread is almost like 2,000 messages in it.
No,
You're always posting in that thing. I mean, yeah, obviously you have like, you know, one of the, like, you know, the top. personal threads in the community because people love seeing what you're doing and people want to talk to you, and you obviously posted it all the time. You love like that right there is like that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like you do love just talking in the community. Like you
Yeah.
don't love coming on the stream, because it took us forever to get you on here, but that's okay. It is, it's everybody's different, but like you're always chatting it up in the community. Wasn't there like a thing like people were joking about like chicken chats or something? There was like, I remember at one point that was like that was a name getting thrown around because you love to just participate in the community. You love talking to everybody. You're also just
Yeah.
like super positive in the community, like you said. You like being around the like-minded individuals. You like just chiming into conversations, and sometimes that can be a little hard for people because not everybody is as I guess talkative, in communities. A lot of people, they join communities and they just like to read, right? Like, so
Right.
so being in a community and being one of the people that is like talking all the time is, also super beneficial for not only you, but like everybody in the community. Like you said, the community itself each person that's just typing in there is helping each other, right? Like, even though obviously you said, like Matt, had the laundry list of things that Matt has provided. But even like just you guys in the community, like also just you talking, you posting your personal thread, even those things like also add value to others. I mean, clearly, like especially as of, very recently, I'm sure, like there's been an uptick in your DMs because of, all of your payouts and what have you, everything, all of your success that you've been seeing recently. Aside from DMs that you just get normally, it's probably, I can only assume that you've been getting a little bit more than usual. But
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was gonna say mainly about the strategy I'm using. That's pretty much the common question, which I am I'm happy to answer and help as many as people as possible. But I I, I try to make it as simple and repeatable as as possible. Like if I can go in and see it and it's easy instead of having to cycle through. I don't I don't know. I see some crazy stuff on the internet, but all this to me unnecessary stuff where you don't need. But just keep it simple. That's all I can say. Is just something you can jot down real quick, flip on the charts. Hey, if it's at a key level or if it's XYZ setup, pull the trigger and just accept the risk. If it's your model and you think it's a quality setup, but just I guess the big thing is just keep it simple. Just don't overcomplicate it and just stick to one thing or one or two things or three things that you do very well and you see very well. That's what I just I try to tell people, like just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
yeah, and I mean, you couldn't be keeping it any more simple. You just trade right on your phone. You're like, I don't need to be seeing 10
Yeah.
charts at a time. I'll just scroll through them and I'll be just fine. I mean, yeah, I know you had said that, previously, outside of this call. That's really what it comes down to, right? Which again, that's another thing that Matt preaches is keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate it, right? Like that's essentially what you did when you took that break, right? You took a step back. You said, what do I really need to know here? Like, what do I really need to dial in? And what is everything that I need to be successful to, further my and refine my model? And then that's what you did. You went and you simplified. And you said, okay, this is what I do now, and that's it. You don't go and do 10 other things. You know what you are looking for and you stick to it, and you're not trying to add 20 different things to what you're already doing. You had to just you cut out the noise, and then you figured out what you want to do without having anybody else in your ear or on your screen instead, because Discord. And then just dial it in to that thing so that you can be successful, because all that matters is what you do, because you are going to determine your success. So why overcomplicate things?
Yeah, I took a step back. I just looking through not my charts, but like charts within the community of unicorns, and I just seen like an opportunity where I see it repeating with every unicorn, or sometimes without a unicorn. That hey, there's an opportunity here for potential lower risk, a higher reward. So that's when data, paper trading. I mentioned it quite a bit, like trading, you're just getting reps in, no matter if it's like a live account with small money or paper trading, but just getting data on what you want to do for your setup that's fit for you. And I seen there was opportunity there for the IFVG setup combined with the unicorn model. And I was like, okay, let's just dial in here. And then I was like, okay, this is good. So now I incorporate that as my first entry function, followed by the breaker and the unicorn. Because when they're both there, it's very high probability per the data. You just got to accept the probabilities over time, but it's very high probability when they're both there at the same time.
I'm reading chat right now. I'm looking for maybe like a question or something. So I'm seeing that Kira just has a question. And for everybody that's listening,
Oh,
if you guys want to type questions in the chat, I'm now kind of looking over to the chat to see if you guys want to maybe ask Ch1kin something. So
yeah.
Kira said, "What advice would you give to someone who is in their first couple years of trading, or maybe their first year of trading?"
Oh, that's a good one. Find Well, I would say learn, of course, learn the basics of market structure, and then find a setup. Uh, I mean, if I know now what I knew back then, oh my, I mean, it's probably save me some money, a little bit of money, but definitely a good community will help. But finding a setup that works for you and easy and repeatable. I mean, I kind of repeat the same things, but I try to keep it as simple as possible, and I can see it every day, and I know that it works. But I guess finding a strong community to engage with and help guide you to a model or system that you like and can engage with daily, and then going from there. But of course, collecting data and then feeling the emotion. I mean, this is me personally. I know everyone loves the back test, but with the setup included with the unicorn, I did minimum back test. I did a lot of forward testing on challenges, and then small amount on funded account, just feeling the emotion. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, back testing is great, but for me personally, I found more value in forward testing the model and feeling the pain and losses, and then the gratification on winning forward testing. But that's just me personally.
Mhm.
I find more benefit doing that. But I strong community, and then finding a model that works for you, and that you can repeat daily without it being too complicated, going through like, I don't know, 10 plus steps for it. If you can enter, and then time you enter is probably past your entry limit, and the trade's already gone.
Yeah, I mean, all great advice. Like you said, what community? You said keep it simple. You said forward test. I mean,
Yeah.
all exactly that. That's exactly what people need to do. And I'm actually DTR just said that too much backtesting can create a safe place, and too many traders create a safe womb in not taking live trades, which is just to add further to what
I
you were saying,
I
because
agree.
yeah, very very true. Because yeah, I mean it adds some fear to live trading. So definitely forward testing is obviously the way forward. Again, another thing that Matt does always preach as well. Um,
Yeah. When there's
Evo, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
say when there's real money on the line, like there's tons of emotions flying. Like, and then at the same time, while the emotions are flying, you're able to know what you need to do to calm yourself down if you have a little drawdown, or you're in a big trade that's green, where you can kind of keep emotions in check, and then you can personally work on that when it's real money, instead of back testing where click a button, loss or win, keep going, loss or win. But I think having real emotion and skin in the game is huge, and then also plays with your emotions while in the trade.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to live trade at some point. So it's like
Yeah.
backtesting can be good for data, but when it comes to like really wanting to feel the true, emotion, you got to be forward testing. You got it, because otherwise, like how DTR said, it's like you're gonna create that safe space, and then it might even negatively impact your live trading. Um, so let's see. Evo was saying, what trade copier do you use for mobile?
I use in Unicorn University, Arrow. He created a PDF for Replicanto. So I have an iPhone and a MacBook Pro, and I use a VPN Windows app where I'm able to set it up on my laptop. it's through NinjaTrader on the MacBook, and I have the same app downloaded on my phone. So in the morning, I go on, set it up on my MacBook, and I'm able to copy trade Replicanto on my iPhone across different accounts. But there's a PDF in Unicorn University that Eric created with the how to set it up. But Replicanto through a VPN on the iPhone and MacBook I use.
There you go, Evo. Perfect. And then I see JG said, "Do you trade any specific time or kill zone of New York session? Which time zone is your preferred?"
Uh, per, per, I mean, preferred is New York Open, but I, but like with like I was saying, I think at the beginning where the volatility it's been feeling dangerous
Mm-hmm.
during the morning just because the increased volatility. Then also you have random tweets from Trump that are just crazy candles in like
Yep.
seconds where they can just wipe you clean. So I've been this year, but what's helped me with the big payouts is I've been dabbling in Asia more. It's just as much, well, maybe a little less volatility as New York, but you're still able to get a quality setup and you don't got to worry about like Trump tweeting something and then you get a 100-point candle or something. So I would say if I had to prefer one, it'd be New York AM, but I've been doing Asia and New York AM. I mean, I glance at the PM, but I hardly take trades at the PM. If I look at PM, I'm normally just paper trading, collecting. I personally still collect data and markup trades that I see or I would have taken if it was a win or a loss, just to have I reps and the repetition, just getting them, just collecting data, and I'll just copy paste and put it in my personal server where I just post charts, daily in there of setups.
Right. And you know what? That's something too that I'll ask you real quick. So you have you said you have your own like personal server that you'll just kind of
Yes.
like organize and throw stuff. So I'm assuming that's your journal and that's how you journal is by other than like posting things, like in our communities, you will use, I'm assuming, Discord as your personal journal.
Yes, yes. So I have it set up pretty much exactly how it was set up for analysts with the top down analysis, where I kind of strayed away a little bit from the top down, but I'm still aware of IRL, ERL type of thing because I'm more focusedly trading on the around the 4 hour stat map levels, but it combines with the daily and the high time frame uh trend. But yeah, I have the top down, and then under that, like subsections, I have each pair. So I mainly watch, well, of course, NQ. Then I have ES, Gold, and CL. But mainly my NQ is the one that I trade probably the most. But yeah, I have a personal like a personal server where I just copy paste from my phone, simple copy, put it in there, and then I'll just arrange it later in the day or the next day when I have a minute.
Right, right. Because sometimes you just got to be, well, like, you're on your phone. So sometimes you're just grabbing screenshots because,
Yeah, exactly.
or
Yeah.
whatever, and then maybe shooting them in there. And then, like you said, you'll organize them later, or you'll just have them in your camera roll and you'll get to it later when you actually have more time to, to make it organized and clean so that it's not just a bunch of random screenshots because you're on mobile and, working in your truck doing your trades.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll start to wrap it up here. We're getting a little bit over an hour here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So just to close it out, is there anything you want to, kind of just like leave everybody with, like a final statement?
Just keep going. I mean, I would say if you're struggling or if you're already at success level, just keep grinding, put your head down, keep going, learning, and then the power of freedom, which you can see where I'm on my phone and computer, it's there. So stay persistent, disciplined, and then at the end of the day, let the probabilities play out. If you know you got a proven system, you take losses, who cares? Eventually you'll become numb. I accepted the fact, losses happen, losing streaks happen, but just keep going and sticking with it. And eventually all your hard work and determination and dedication will pay off. And for me personally, I can speak to that where this year alone, it has paid off tremendously. And I'm grateful for trading and then meeting everyone in the community. And of course, Matt teaching what he teaches us daily in the Unicorn University.
Yeah, and also just to quickly acknowledge, so and how long have you? How long is like your entire trading journey? Like,
So whenever, yeah, whenever GameStop first surged a few years back, that's when I dabbled into or sparked interest in the trading. And then I bought Dogecoin as my first coin ever, crypto. And then I crypto leverage traded for a while. And so I guess that was around the last crypto bull run. That's when I first started trading.
so that was
But
what? Like, that was like 3, 4 years, right? No,
I think
around something
maybe
like
four
that. I
years.
tried to look it up real quick, but I didn't get it up. But yeah, I mean that's so there you go, everybody. That's I wanted to ask just so people could have a time frame because you were saying don't give up and all those great things. So I want people to know like yeah, you've been like you've had skin in the game, whether it was like a little or a lot for the past 4 years. Whether you've been really all the way from just like you said jumping into like the meme stocks and all that all the way up to right now getting like six or 5 figure payouts, from prop firms, right?
Yeah.
It's like he just said, it's like, do not give up, don't stop. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. At some point, it will click as long as you keep your head down, you stay humble, you stay dialed in, you don't get emotional, and you just do what needs to be done. Like Chicken is a testament to this through and through. Man has been helping out the community since 2023, literally. Um, he's incredible community member. Again, very happy to have you on here, bro. And also, where
Thank
can
you.
people
Thank you.
find you? Like, it's Eat More Chicken on Twitter and in Discord, correct?
Yes, yes. And I'm engaging or I'm active or actually reading every day. So if you tag me, I'll respond. I'll respond instantly almost. If not, I'll respond when I can get a minute. But also just a quick shout out to the two guys that introduced me to futures trading. They're now like almost the head people at My Funded Futures is Thor and Fabi. Those two guys, they're like management positions at the prop firm, but they introduced me to futures, and ever since they introduced to me, I haven't gone back. So just thankful for them too that brought me on the other side, getting away from the crypto leverage trading.
Right, getting you into something more consistent and more more
Yeah, and
easy to
cleaner fills.
trade.
That was so nice. Yes, I was just amazed how clean the fills were. Just like, oh, limit order, bam, no slippage, perfect.
Perfect. All right, well, we'll close this up. Thank you again, bro, for coming on. Everybody, if you are, wanting to maybe talk to Chicken or follow him, go follow him on Twitter. This is on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to check out the description. It will have his Twitter in there. Or come and join our community, whether it be the public Discord or Unicorn University. Be sure to check them out because Chicken is in both of them. He is in there along with a handful of other incredible people, incredible like-minded individuals that all are success stories. I'm very happy for everybody, especially Chicken right now, who is seeing incredible payouts. He is posting them almost weekly at this point. It seems every week it seems like I'm making some announcement in the premium group about how Chicken posted another it's 5 figure payout. Everybody go show him some love. So he's doing amazing. We got a lot of people in the community doing amazing stuff. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Chicken, once again. Seriously, man, for coming on. Everybody's been dying to hear from you. So I'm very happy that you came on here and talked with everybody. Everybody in the chat right now, in the Discord, be sure to show some love, some hearts in the chat. I'm going to open up the chat so that everybody can see on YouTube. Show some love for Chicken. He didn't have to come on here. We don't ever force anybody to come on here. But the demand was just so high that he felt obligated to come on and talk to all of you. Everybody's been asking him to come on for quite some time. So he gave in and said, you know what, let me give the people what they want. So very, very happy to have you on here, man. You didn't have to do this. And also congratulations on all of your success. You're killing it. And you know that, like I've been telling you that. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. And thank you for everybody who tuned in. I don't know when the next one of these is going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I guess we'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that happens. So everybody have a great weekend. Everybody enjoy your Friday. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I am going to be seeing Ash, and he is going to be turning 30. So Matt is
Nice.
going to be coming up to New York, and we're going to celebrate his 30th birthday. So if you guys are seeing this YouTube video and
Happy
it
birthday.
is, yeah, happy birthday to Matt.
Of the
And if you guys are seeing this on May 5th, be sure to go say happy birthday to Matt, because he actually will be streaming on May 5th. So everybody, you guys can, go say happy birthday to him. We will be making some announcements, and we got things going on, like we got giveaways and deals and stuff like that too. So be on the lookout for all of that. But yeah, so I hope everybody has a great weekend. And Ch1kin, once again, brother, thank you for coming on. We all appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
and we wish you even more success. And we can't wait to see what else you bring to the community, and what other achievements you have coming in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.